uh, was expecting to not, because all your builds are totally going to have to be redone when Omnicells come out, but don't worry about it, it's going to be super worth it. All the information that I've gotten about Omnicells from people who did the testing and from the developers themselves have done, I'm super excited for it. So today, excuse me, my allergies are kicking in a little bit. I apologize if I cough a little bit. But today I am bringing you the new meatball gun. Now, there's only been a few changes from what it used to be. One is that the defense cell was removed and replaced with a prismatic cell, which is awesome. And the other thing is that it has Berserker on it. You can see that right there. Now, Berserker, excuse me, is only going to matter on melee hits, because on-hit effects do not proc with the meatballs, sadly. That applies to all three versions of the meatball, whether it be the ground crawler meatball in your Ether Slam, the small meatballs, or the fully charged meatballs. So, sadly, that doesn't apply for the machine gun build that I'll be playing, but it does apply to the standard hammer stagger builds, which are actually really good right now. Molten Edict has been moved up to one of the better hammers now. I would almost say top tier hammer, because the meatball does a ton of damage, the ground crawler one from the Ether Slam, tons of damage, and it's definitely has one of the better effects on it. So very, very good hammer now. And the third thing is that the meatball damage has gone up 50%, which is massive. I just tested it a little bit at level 1 with this build right here. I was doing 2,700 some odd damage for a standard fully charged meatball. That's with 6 ammo in the clip, not supercharged. And that's core damage too. And at level 1, that's a lot. So I'm going to go ahead here and just queue something really quick. Let's just... I'm level 2 here, so I'm just going to queue a 1 to 13. Now, this particular build is based around shooting meatballs as fast as possible and as damaging as possible, both at the same time, kind of. So naturally, I have Conduit in there. And for all the damage, like I said, the Berserker comes from the hammer. I don't have a choice about that. Normally, I wouldn't run Wild Frenzy 6, but I'm really not getting that great of an effect. I might switch it off for Pulse, and then like maybe shoot a few meatballs and have Pulse 3 in there, and then I'll shoot my big meatball for the Pulse crit. But I'm not super worried about that right now, so I'm just running Rage Pred and Cunning for the damage. You saw the armor that was there, so you can go ahead and copy that build if you want, but again, that's going to be changed as soon as Omnicells come out, so don't take too much stock in this build if you watch this video probably no more than a month or two from now, because again, Omnicells will have totally changed the way that this build works. Other massive thing in this update is the new armor pieces. All 4 of them are really, really good armor pieces. Really, really good armor pieces. I'll go over those after this fight if I remember. And most of the parts you probably already have. They're from common monsters like Skarn, I think. And just some basic parts that I didn't have to hunt for any of them. The only thing that you're going to need is Ether Dust. It's 250 to craft a piece of equipment and 500 Ether Dust in the addition of the Ether Heart to power surge it, which means that's 750 per piece, and that also brings it up to... Ooh, he charged right at me there. And that also... I am not that great with hammer, so let's see if I can... Nope, that is not the hammer attack I wanted. Whatever, I should get a break here in a second. There we go. Oh wow, okay, I guess I actually got hit by that. I am really bad with hammers, so excuse my terribleness. What's that stagger? Is he dead? He is not dead. I can't see his health bar right now because my character model's blocking it. Alright. Yeah, I am not a big hammer player. As you can see, I only have 4 reforges in it, and I typically only play... Wow, these are all really bad. I typically only play the meatball gun on hammer. I'm just not a big fan of swinging the giant slow weapon around, so my melee capability with this weapon, not great. This is going to be a little bit more fun here. I got some slow behemoths. That's some nice big damage. I already got a part break there. Oof, went straight into rage. That's gonna dash at me. Come on. I am really surprised that didn't hit me. That totally is gonna hit me. Alright. Wow, that was only a few meatball shots, and that frickin' totaled them right there. Now, one of my favorite things about the fully charged meatball is that it leaves a little dot on the ground there, and that really adds a lot of damage to it over time. You can see it's ticking 32 times 3 several times a second there. That's 96 damage. Looks like 2 to 3 times a second. I'm sure somebody's got the numbers on that somewhere. But it's quite a bit of extra damage over time. And you gotta keep in mind, I'm only level 3 now, so it's, let's see, I have 1, that's only 10%. Let's get spiteful. Yeah, it's a good tick of damage there, and it lasts for a while. Another fast one. This is just really bad trying to showcase this weapon. Oh, come on, give me a part break. Oh, I thought I traded there for a second too. I heard the little contact. Whoa, that was... I think I might be getting a little lag spike there. I just used a healing pot and it didn't heal me. Definitely getting some kind of lag spikes. Yep. Alright. Well... Alright, this is not fun for me right now. Okay. Ah, come on. Give me that extra attack speed, thank you. Ah. Too early. Too late. Come on. There we go. This rubber banding is frickin' murdering me right now. Oh my god, I'm still bouncing around. I might have to call it after this run, because I am not gonna enjoy running another one with this rubber banding right now.
You reached the end of the chain, Cap. Looks like this is as bad as it's gonna get.
And I can't see what behemoths were up, because again, my My adorable portrait is blocking it. Oh, and it's a Cherog. Wow, really? That didn't hit either of them. I'm gonna run this meatball into one of them so it goes away. Mushrooms. Let's see if I can land this. I knew that would do a ton of damage. That was a supercharged full clip of 6 with a red Skittle and a nice Drask Lantern buff. Now if you do that on like a weak spot, before the update, I did over 20,000 damage with a single meatball. I was just unlucky. So I'm imagining with the update you could easily do over 30,000 probably. If you hit a weak spot with it, and you got a nice damage buff going on. Now remember, one of my favorite things about the meatball is that it does not lose damage over distance like the repeaters do. So no matter how close or far away you are, your meatballs should always do the same damage. Always, always, always. Unless they change it. But they didn't say that in the patch notes, so probably good. Devs, please stop doing dudes standing around. I'm tired of my splash art being dudes standing around. What happened to Thrax, where it was like epic combat going on the splash art? That was cool. I liked that. I told one of the devs about it. Which one was it? I don't remember. Was it CT? I don't think it was CT. I think it was Ors, maybe. Here's my list. It might have been Proteus, actually. Or wait. No, it wasn't Proteus. He's the lead designer. I think it was Ors I talked to about it. Yeah, I'm level 4 in this. I'm going to actually wait to pop that one. I'm going to go over to my repeaters real quick. Pop it for my repeaters. Now, oop, this isn't my normal build. So the new armor, all 4 pieces are really good. I know I said that earlier, but let's just take a look at them real quick. One of them I immediately changed out because the only good chest piece with a non-rage that had a power slot on it before was Drask piece. Now the Drask piece was okay because it has etheric attunement on it, and that's like an okay sell, but holy cow, this new piece right here has overpower on it. So now this build has overpower 6 instead of overpower 3, and that makes it so much better. Oh my god. When you're soloing with this, you're going to see a big difference in your damage output as soon as you get that first part break. You're going to daisy chain significantly faster. You're going to do significantly more damage, and it just makes this Tenacious build so much better. And I'm excited because this build is going to stay mostly the same when excuse me, Omnicells come out. I don't know why I had a brain fart there. So when Omnicells come out, Tenacious is obviously going to stay, and the shield bonus is going to be so great for this. It's going to be great. We're going to get the overpower, although I do think overpower is changing. They're talking about rebalancing it, and it's going to be getting a nerf possibly. Now, when I was talking to Ors about it, and for those of you who don't know, he's the lead combat designer, so he's the person who deals with reworking weapons. He's the person that deals with balancing the cells and all that kind of stuff. Now, I was talking to him about this, I was like, you know, the description doesn't say that it works on part breaks and interrupts and stuff. It only says staggers. But if it only works on staggers like it says here and they nerf it that hard, overpowers, nobody's going to use it. So, like, hey, if we or whatever, back down to 10, so it would be 10 to like 40 instead of 10 to 60, then I feel like that would be a little bit more balanced. It would still be good. Hopefully they don't remove part break and interrupts from that, like I said, because that would be bad. Uh, so let's keep this. Uh, Now I'm also worried a little bit about, which is what they, I guess, intended it to do, but for every so much damage you do above the base damage dealt that it's talking about, you have a chance to double proc essentially, or triple proc, or quadruple proc, or whatever. So if you get an axe throw that does like 50,000 damage, you could gain 1,000 shields or something bonkers like that. Now with repeaters, I'm shooting it, and when I'm running my crit build in escalations, for example, I'm building 120 damage or sometimes more, depending on what amps I get, per shot. So my shields go through the roof really quick. So that is looking at getting a nerf. Now, excuse me, they're mixing that with the Bastion Omnisol, however, you're going to get a massive boost of shields right at the start of combat. And supposedly it also increases the rate at which you gain shields. So I don't know if that's going to be another kind of buff towards it. So I guess we're going to see how that kind of balances out here when Omnicells are finished, because anybody who played, it's not final. And I was talking to Orz about it, and he's like, yeah, we're collecting data. We're trying to figure out what worked in the closed test, what didn't work in the closed test. So that kind of information, uh, I don't know when it will be available, but if it's not out next 4 weeks,